YouTube, welcome and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl SANDAREALEST here, back with another video.
In my mind, I'm hoping you say 2 or 3. Agree? Yeah, indeed, you look good and we came to party, but I don't wanna waste my time. I'll waste your time.
So, in this video, I will be talking about my testimony, as y'all can see by their beautiful title, and how I came to know Jesus and how God came into my life and transformed me. And I feel as though that I've been wanting to put out this video because God placed on my heart that I needed to share this with you all and not just hold it in, because this is my walking testimony. As of this day and forevermore, this will forever be my walking testimony. And I feel as though this may help you all on many different levels and areas of y'all lives, So without further ado, with all that being said, before we get into this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe so that you all can stay tuned in with me, so that y'all can stay on this flow of journey with me. And if y'all would like to see more faith-based videos like this, comment down below and let me know in the comments down below. So with that being said, let's get straight into this video. So, I do have everything wrote out on my notes so that I won't miss anything. And we're talking about my procedure that I went through. This all started in the year of 2019, in the month of January. So when 2019 started, it started right in January. And this is when I found myself very, 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 very in deep pain, not knowing what was wrong and how to handle it. And I came home from school. You know, when y'all, have a good little easy day at school or whatever, from work, anywhere. And you get through the day, you get home, do what you got to do at home. That's either homework, study, cook, whatever, work out, whatever. You do all that stuff. You end up taking a nap, and all of a sudden you get woke up out your sleep at midnight, throwing up and feeling a sharp pain in your side. That was me. I was in that position, that predicament. So I ended up getting woken up out my sleep. And I ended up throwing up. I didn't know if I had threw up blood or food I ate. It's like, I don't know, it just came out of nowhere. But once I got up to ease my way to the bathroom, because I was already hurting, deep in pain, like if it was a sharp pain, like it was continuously sticking, poking me, like something very, very sharp. So as I was easing to the bathroom, I made it by God's grace, because I probably would have, if anything, I probably would have fell to the floor or something. Me, I know I can't take as much pain, and I know me, and I know how I am. But I'm glad I made it to the restroom by God's grace. I sat down on the end of the tub to see if I had to throw up some more. So I was hurting so bad, it just felt, it was a sharp pain, and I just could barely move. So I sat there for a minute, and my sister, who's now a nurse practitioner, she was here. She was going to college, and she was here at the house. And so she heard me in the restroom, and she ended up getting up to see what was going on with me. And she told my mom to get up because something was major wrong with me. So she ended up getting up. And y'all know parents. My sister heard me all the way in the bathroom. The bathroom really right there by my mom in the room. And down the hall from my sister in the room. So it's closer to my mom in the room than my sister room. So she is crazy. She heard me, and my mama didn't. But if y'all got them parents, or if y'all sleep deep, y'all know y'all ain't gonna be able to hear nothing. And I wasn't really loud, but it was hurting very bad. And so she finally got up and she was asking me what was wrong, and I explained to her, like, Mom, I just threw up, but the major part is I have a sharp pain in my side. She was like, Sandriana, you sure it's not your cycle? Like, Mom, no. I know my cycle cramps from the sharp pain I was feeling. I knew that it wasn't my cycle because my cycle cramps do not feel like how I was feeling. So I ended up getting in some Epsom salt, sitting in the tub. Couldn't stay in there long because I was already burning up, like I was hot. So I ended up getting out and going to lay on the couch, and I ended up having the little garbage can beside the couch to see if I had to throw up some more. So the next morning, my mom got up, took me to my pediatrician, who I've been going to since I was a little kid, and he's of age now. So when I was going to him, he was old too. He was older. He's not as old as he is now, but he was of age. And I went to him, and he diagnosed me and told me that I had a stomach virus. And this was no stomach virus. It was more than a stomach virus. So he gave me some antibiotics for it, though. And I was taking that. And when my dad got back from the business trip the next morning, he took me to the emergency room because I couldn't take the pain. I really couldn't take the pain. I had took pain for almost 2.5 days, going on 3. So I couldn't take the pain no more. So my dad came home and took me to the emergency room. I was getting questions asked, and they was asking me what was wrong, what brings me here. I had to answer all that. I really just wanted to get checked on. I really didn't want to wait, but I was being patient in the process. So as I proceeded there, I ended up having to get a CAT scan done, where they put you in a little machine. If you don't know what a CAT scan is, I'll probably place it up on the screen. But I had to get a CAT scan done so they can x-ray and see whatever they seen. And once I got out of there, they were talking to my dad. And my mom had went to work. So I was just with my dad. So they was talking to my dad and telling him that they couldn't do nothing else further with me. They didn't know what was wrong. So when I heard the words transferred, tears just started rolling down my face. And when I seen them put the stretcher in front of my door, I was like, this can't be real. Mind you, I wasn't as close to God as I am now today. So I didn't know nothing about the relationship to have with God. And my dad was telling me, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Your mom's going to ride with you in the ambulance. So my mom ended up getting off work early anyway, coming to the hospital. And I had been at the hospital from morning all the way to about 6 o'clock at night. And I had to wait. I don't think I got into a room until like 12 that noon. My mama ended up getting off work early. My dad trailed us. And I had to be transferred to Le Bonheur. When I got to Le Bonheur, I have to wait at Le Bonheur too, because they have a lot of patients. A lot of babies and stuff like that. So they had me in like one of these little rooms where they asked me questions too. And then they were trying to find me a room to assign me in because all their rooms were really full. So they finally found me a room upstairs. But before they took me to the room, they wanted to do an ultrasound. So they did an ultrasound. And I got the ultrasound done. And it's crazy. It's crazy. That night, my cycle had already came on. Because I had got up from like sitting on the little bed or whatever from getting the ultrasound. And my mom was like, "You're bleeding." I'm like, "Bleeding where?" And I was already in pain. I was like, "I'm out of it. I really can't do nothing." So she was like, "You're bleeding." I was like, "Did I cut myself on my leg or something?" She was like, "No." And I was like, "Dang, my cycle is on now." So it's crazy. My cycle was involved in this too. My mama spoke it up the night I told y'all I was throwing up. Midnight when I was throwing up, went to the bathroom. She was like, "Maybe it's your cycle." You brought it up and spoke it up. The next few days, my cycle came on. With me going through this pain I'm going through. So, but this pain was really overlapping my cycle. I really wasn't even feeling my cycle cramps. It was this sharp pain in my side that was killing me. In my head, I was just thinking like, what's going on with me? Why am I going through this? So, with that being said, they finally put me in a room. And when I got to the room, the nurses came in. They gave me a heating pad to have, which the heating pad they gave me, it was easing some of the pain, but not as much. And I mean not as much. But I was thankful for the heating pad. And they asked me, at this point, they were asking me questions. Have I ever been in like a wreck or been hospitalized before? And I was like, no. All my answers were no. It's crazy because me being a cheerleader and on the sidelines or seeing anybody else or being at some games or seeing people just being hospitalized, it just made me think like, oh, Sandriana, you gonna be in this predicament too? I did not know I was gonna go through that predicament. Like, y'all, hospitals terrify me. They do. They really do. To this day, they still terrify me. But as I was just thinking, I'm like, wow. To see other people get in the back of an ambulance and transferred to hospital. Me? Out of all people too? Me? I gotta have the same treatment. Me? So, I ended up getting questions asked, like I said, by the nurse. And they finally looked at the ultrasound. And as I look back, for real, as I look back on this, really, y'all, it's been 6 years. This year made 6 years. So, I can truly admit, like, it's crazy. It all happened right before COVID-19 came in here into this world. It's crazy. It's crazy. With this whole procedure, God took me through this procedure to show me, to bring me closer to him, which is truly nothing but a blessing. So, as I look back over these 6 years and I see now why I went through this, I wasn't as close to God as I am now. And I can admit I was lost and far from him. I mean, I was going to church, you know, but I didn't really understand. So once I went to God in true humility, as I began to pray that God would come into my heart and transform me the way he wanted me to be, it just really like, Lord, place your spirit in me. Mold me into your word. So, I can admit, I told God I was a sinner. And I wasn't doing the correct things. I definitely can say, as I was in this procedure as well, and laying in the hospital bed, wondering like, what could be wrong with me? And it's crazy. I couldn't eat for 24 hours. Boy, y'all telling me I can't eat for 24 hours? I ain't even want to eat for 24 hours. I couldn't even eat. That's what I'm saying. They telling me you can't eat for 24 hours. I didn't want to eat. I was in pain. I wanted to know what was wrong with me. When they told me that, I knew something was major and it had to be done. Because why you can't eat for 24 hours? What you finna do to me? What you finna do to me now? You telling me I can't have food? What you finna do to me? But I didn't want no food anyway. But when they said that to me, my little smart little self, oh yeah, it's something major. It's really something major. Like, I gotta go through. And they had to do something with me. So it was about Thursday when they told me that I had to have surgery done. Which had me thinking, like, oh yeah, this is some Grey's Anatomy type of thing, or Chicago Med or something. Cause why y'all coming all in my room like a group of police detectives or something? Like, I ain't gonna lie, they came in that deep. I was scared. So when they proceeded in my room, I was like, whoa, these people finna work on me. All these folks finna have their hands on me. Double the hands, actually. Cause it's we got 2 sets of hands. So that's double. There's double. And it was about, I want to say about 8 of them. 8 or 10. 8 to 10. She told me and my mama and my sister and my dad and all this what she had seen in the ultrasound. And what it was that was where the pain was coming from. So, if y'all know, on the left side, let me explain this before I tell y'all what it is. Because y'all gonna be like, ooh, what is this? The left side is where your spleen is. The right is your appendix. My dad thought it was my appendix. And I was like, no, Dad. I'm telling you where it is. You gotta listen to me. It's my body I'm talking about. She had told me what she had seen. And so, as y'all know, I told y'all my left side was hurting. And on your left side is your spleen. So she told me that it was my spleen. And when she said that, I was like, what is a spleen? But I knew I heard it before. I just didn't know the working until she told me. So she was like that it wasn't attached ever since I was born. Never. It was never attached. And as I grew older, from like all the sports and everything I was doing, of course it was going to grow and move on its own if it wasn't attached. So as I'm there thinking about it, I'm like, wow. Told us that what was causing the pain in my side was that it got caught in between like a knot with my blood vessels. Like it was in a knot. It was because it got tied into a knot with my blood vessels. And it was pulling it, which was causing it pain. And I was like, wow. So when she said all this, I was confused. And just as shocked as y'all may be right now hearing me say this. And when she told me the only way was to remove it, I was just like, wow, I'm finna really have surgery. I'm really finna get cut open. So I knew I didn't have nothing to like worry about. And I trusted everything would be fine. And so you all may be asking now, what is the working of your spleen? So the working of your spleen is basically, it fights off the bacteria in your body. So say for instance, you get sick and you taking medication for it, antibiotics for it or whatever. Your spleen is there to remove that bacteria out your body. And so mine was removed. And I had to be extremely careful with my health. And why I say I had to be extremely careful was because my immune system was now low and weak. I had to make sure I had to take my vitamins and the medicine they prescribed me with to keep it fighting towards being strong. than what it was, which was weak. And so, as I just went through all that, I just realized nobody cared to check up on me until I was in the hospital, bed ill. Now, I did have one or two people that came and visit me. But one of them, my god sister. Y'all gonna see her in my video. A few of them. Later on, when I upload some more videos. Stay tuned for those. You're gonna see a couple of people in that vlog or that video. But she came. She was the only one that came. And they've been my rider, my best friend, my sister, ever since we were kids. And still to this day, we are strong. I was just with her the other day. Had to do our photo shoot. But we were strong. So she came to see me. Her and her mom and dad. My godparents. And so I just realized that nobody was there for me but God holding me in his arms. He literally touched those surgeons' hands. And as I just look back on it 6 years ago, I thank him so much for giving me another opportunity to live and be here today, telling this walking testimony I'm carrying with me. I didn't give up, but I actually strived to better my relationship with God. That brought me closer to God. People was wondering why I stopped partying and doing all that, going everywhere. But I knew I made my final choice to serve the Lord, which that's what I wanted to do. So as time went on, I, of course, was being tempted by the devil. And still to this day, the devil is definitely busy trying to discourage me. But I continue to keep the faith and believing within my heart that if God brought me out the hospital from 2019 all the way to now, 2024, still alive, I know that he knew I was one of his toughest soldiers and still is one of his toughest soldiers. Literally, my prayer life got better and deeper. I just took life serious. And I wanted to do better. And I know I didn't like where I was as a young lady. So I realized the stuff I was doing in the world didn't please God. When I started to read and receive God's wisdom from his word, I basically knew where I needed to be to receive peace, love, and comfort. And that was to be in his presence. So I felt empty and lonely. But with all this being said, y'all, this is definitely coming from a person who was wild and doing their own thing and wanted a change. And God was patient with me to come to him and receive him and hear my heart. And so if you're wanting to live a holy and righteous life, go to him as you are and receive him in your heart. Don't let the devil trick you into doing something you don't want to do. Be separated from the world and submit to God's ways and plans. And I can truly say that we got this. Now in the times we're living in now, we definitely got this. And as Christians, we ought to be true examples. To be these true servants of him. And willing to help others around us grow together in Christ likeness. So, God transformed me into a new person. And I know if he did it for me, he can do it for you too. And the only way to true satisfaction and true love and fulfillment that the world can't give is only through Jesus. The only answer is God. Go to him as you are and allow him to do the rest, okay? He will cleanse you, make you over, but you have to be willing. You have to be willing. He can't force you. He won't force you. I won't force you. But you got to be willing. And he is definitely patient with us all. And I definitely have people in my life that can testify I'm not the same person no more. And God has truly helped me to grow in so many areas. And I know he can do the same for you as well. Jesus brought me from a mighty, mighty long way. And we go through some things so we can know God. Let me say that again. We go through some things so we can know God. And me going through that procedure, it helped me to draw closer to God. It helped me to understand his word. That helped me receive what he been wanting me to have to be this woman of God I am today. Definitely open doors he wanted me to go in. He closed doors he didn't want me to go back in. Well, thanks for watching this YouTube video, this testimony video that I had for you all. I really hope that it helped you any way, shape, or form. And if you would like to have more faith-based videos, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let's grow together. And with all this being said, y'all know I had to clock in, but I'm also clocking out. Thank you guys for watching this video. See y'all in the next one.